Once upon a time, a long, long time ago, in an odd-shaped land, there was one very bright spot, a kingdom. Or maybe a city. And in this kingdom there was an old, run-down castle. Or maybe a church. Presided over by a wise and wonderful wizard, or maybe a minister. A doctor, really, a doctor of divinity. The doctor wanted to inspire the citizens of the kingdom to fix their old church building. For this he needed something magical, something melodious, something like music. So the doctor searched far and wide in strange and mysterious lands, like Detroit, or a suburb like Highland Park. There he found a dashing young knight. Well, he had no armor, so maybe not a knight. More like a director, a choir director. And his beautiful maiden. Well, not really a maiden, since they had a kid. But the young director could make music, since he'd just earned a magical musical wand, or maybe a baton. The doctor spirited them away to his big old building. There the director waved his magical musical baton. But there was no music. He waved again and again as hard as he could, but there was still no music. The doctor had an idea. He found the director a fairy godmother. Well, maybe not a fairy godmother, more like a benefactor. She funded a set of shiny brass musical thingies. But still, as much as the director waved his magical musical baton, there was no music. But the director had an idea. He gathered munchkins from the kingdom and put them in the dungeon, basement, choir room. These munchkins had names, like Melody, and Rocky, and Marcy, and Tom Sawyer. Really. The director gave each of the munchkins 2 and sometimes more of the shiny brass thingies. Then, when he waved his magical musical baton at the munchkins, they waved their shiny brass thingies, and something wonderful happened. Music! The doctor presented the munchkins and their thingies to the citizens of the community, and they were inspired. They didn't just repair the old building. They built a grand new flagstone complex. The doctor pronounced the munchkins and their thingies inspirational. They had to be shared with the world. So he packed them up and sent them on crusades, starting in the grand year of 1962. They began in Seattle, where they performed on color television. And that was really something for 1962. And under the Space Needle at the World's Fair. And in lesser kingdoms along the way. The next year they went east, performing all the way to the Great Lakes. In the grandest tour of all, they took to the air and landed on the tallest building in the world, then performed on color television and at the New York World's Fair. They performed up and down the East Coast, ending in the nation's capital, right in the rotunda of the Senate office building. Music echoed throughout the building, carrying inspiration to the lawmakers. Now, we can't really say if the U.S. Congress was inspired, but within days of the performance, they did enact the most significant civil rights legislation since the Civil War. And then it was all over. "46 years later, the former Munchkins gathered not far from the spot where for one brief shining moment they and their shiny brass thingies inspired a more innocent land. Of course, they had to reminisce about the glorious past and how they used to wave their thingies